and welcome to the Downtown Kentucky Podcast. I'm Austin/Parfait.
And I'm Chris/Ox.
That's right. No, I'm next to you. There we go. That was right. No, the other way was right.
This one?
Yeah. You're
The Brady Bunch.
a little peek behind the curtain. Due to audio issues, that honestly we could probably have you looking at us now that we record this differently. Whatever, it doesn't matter. There's nothing really to see. But Chris doesn't see the screen when we podcast. He just sees his own face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get to look at myself and go, huh. So that's what people are looking at. Why would anyone watch us? So strange.
See, if you saw all the awesome production value I put into the podcast, you'd know why they watch.
Oh.
Well, Chris, this is a podcast.
Oh, isn't it just
yeah.
the most
The title of this podcast everywhere is The Future Sucks. And I
agree.
Yeah, especially when you see our news stories we're covering today. We got 4 news stories, and the central theme is the future sucks.
Nice. The future is now, and the future sucks.
Yeah.
Right now sucks.
Right now is it sucks. Ironically, I'd already planned out this podcast, and then today we had McDonald's for dinner, and I went inside and used the machine, and when I went to the car, I was like, oh, I love the future. It's just so
I don't have to talk to people. This is great.
Yeah, the future sucks unless it's those cool, like electronic kiosks for ordering fast food. I'm down. I'm welcome to that part of the future.
Just exclusively that part.
Nothing else, please. Everything else go away.
Yeah.
Specifically, let's start this thing off hot.
Let's do it.
Oh, but
hot, pre-podcast, which is a joke for just Austin, because it's way too much information.
Moving
to share
on.
With anyone else.
Moving right along. This story is I think maybe one of the most dystopian stories we have ever covered. Like, we've joked about how I hate this part of the dystopian future we live in, which we'll get to a couple crypto and NFT kind of stories. Don't worry. If that's what you're here for, we got more of that crap.
Your favorite section where we crap on NFTs.
Yeah, but we're not there yet. First, yet. Oh gosh, we're
entering a brave new world
of virtual reality. Our first ever VR story. I cut you off. I feel bad. I didn't realize you were like. I'm sorry.
Right. No, I felt like. So I did a little segue for you to branch off into it.
But then you did that thing where you started to say a word as I realized I went right over it, which I do a lot, and I really want to do better at, but it's hard when we're in different rooms.
It's difficult. And it's fine, because more often than not, I end up trailing off, and I'm like, I don't know where I was going to go with this, so...
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, the first story, which here's the thing, I'm cool with us killing some time getting to the first story, because we also, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you, but we also stream on Twitch, and we have to give people a little bit of time to show up.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, our first news story of the day is a rancher in Turkey. He is putting his cows in virtual reality headsets. And
Why? Why?
That's a question. Solid question. And the answer is he is trying to see if cows who think they're in sunny fields produce more milk.
And what is... Do we have results already?
Oh, yeah, baby. We got some early results. It's still a little early, so we don't know for sure. Maybe 1 or 2 cases. We don't know. But early results are looking promising for the farmer in dystopian for society. Because, gosh, can I see this being a thing. Can't
wait till we have all of the cows just locked in, 2-foot by 5-foot cages with headsets on.
To be fair, they already are. They're just now
getting.
Yeah, they already are in those, and now they're. And here's the thing: I'm not gonna go I'm not a vegan. But I respect people who are. I'm not. But man, is the farming industry already screwed up, and it's not getting better. And something like this is just if it makes the cows produce more milk in the crappy containment they're already in, there's going to be no reason for farmers to ever let them see sunlight. Uh,
Yeah.
and oh,
Yeah.
yeah, man, I wish I had something funny to say, like, haha, funny anecdote. No, it sucks. That first story
Haha.
just,
And the
it
cows for
just
VR.
sucks.
I'm not vegan either, but I am also not lactose intolerant by choice.
Mm.
So I am glad that I won't be supporting this milk industry and just drinking my happy little oat milk.
I mean, you still eat a lot of cheese and all the other things that come from the dairy system.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you doing that, but let's not act like you're on some high horse because you don't drink milk.
No, I'm not. But I'm not drinking straight milk.
That's true. You don't drink milk. I don't either.
Once they figure out how to put oats in VR, though, I'm screwed.
I can't.
All hope is lost.
Complete side note. This is not in the story, but just a fun little anecdote. I'm allergic to oats. I found that out this week.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. So I can't switch to oat milk. I'll have to find some other milk to switch to if I ever want to.
Almond milk, I guess.
Yeah, I guess almond.
don't know.
My mom's allergic to almonds though, so it's probably not the best to have that in the
Soy
house.
milk.
Yeah, probably soy.
You guys gotta stop being allergic to stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, my grandma had made these like the no bake cookies, you know, like where like the chocolate and the oatmeal and all that.
Yeah.
And I had one of those and I was like, my mouth is like tingly. That's weird. And then I ignored it.
Grandma, what you put in these cookies?
Yeah, I was like, I must be allergic to something in this. I don't know. Let's try to figure this out. And I was like, maybe it's that. My mom used some like new fake sugar she hadn't used in other stuff. I was like, I must be allergic to that. And I was like, you should make some like no bake cookies or something to like without that so we can try it. And then she didn't want to do it because it was gonna be a lot of work, and that's fair. And I was like, well, just give me a spoonful of those oats. We'll go through these other things, just rule them out. Took a bite of the oats. Disgusting to eat oats by themselves, by the way. And then I was like, I spit them out because wasn't gonna finish it. There was way too much dry oats. And then about 2-3 minutes later, I was like, oh yeah, there's that like pinprick on my tongue feeling. Got it. I'm allergic to oats.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. So if we ever get like a big fan convention and somehow we don't ban you from like giving us food gifts, don't bring me oats.
You can bring me oat milk, though.
Yeah. But also don't bring us anything, because that's a good way to like get poisoned and die. And
Yeah.
it had to be pre-packaged. So don't bring me anything with oats in it. Not that we have any sort of live events ever planned or will ever probably do them. I mean, I want to believe we're going to be successful someday, and therefore at some point we might do live events, but we're not there yet.
You know, maybe one day we'll go to a TwitchCon if we're ever large enough.
Yeah, TwitchCon, or maybe we can get invited to RTX. That's in Austin. That's not far.
No, it's not.
I'd be down to go to RTX. That's a nice, easy place to go. Nice. We don't have to pay for plane fare.
True.
Well, let's move on to our next story because it's more dystopian tech news, kind of. I'll be honest, these next two stories aren't as dystopian. It's crap. It's NFT and it's crypto news, and it's like I just don't want to deal with it anymore. But it's the world we live in, and so I'm gonna keep covering it, especially on a lighter news week like this one. So
we hate NFTs and cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So we are going to cover anything that comes up over it, so we can just.
Well, that's interesting because trust me, I skip a lot of stories. I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh.
Yeah, there's so much crypto and NFT news, and I do skip a lot of it.
Well, I'm just more depressed now.
Yeah, you only get the cream of the crop from us.
Cream of the crop, brother.
Yeah, and that cream is produced in a really cool virtual reality facility now.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so our next story, it's a crypto story, baby. Woo, crypto! Well,
hey.
Did you know, Chris, that Radio Shack still exists?
Honestly, I didn't.
Yeah, to be fair...
I thought it had died off completely.
To be fair, I believe it has like twice. But they just keep bringing it back. And it's back again, and in its most recent relaunch, they are launching their own crypto exchange.
Crypto exchange.
Yeah, and it's called It's called Radio Shack DeFi, which obviously stands for Decentralized Finance.
Wow, they're
Yeah.
so cool.
And it's to exchange, to start off at least, specifically their new radio tokens they're launching. That's
I
right.
feel like this is a really good way to just kill the brand again right off the bat.
I don't know. Or it's a way to like meme this into existing again with the internet.
Radio tokens.
Yeah.
What?
They've
Oh,
also
remember how cool Radio Shack is, guys? Buy our radio tokens,
Yeah.
please.
From what I understand, like I didn't write this down, but if I remember right, the general idea, the concept, the reasoning is the owners who own Radio Shack or like who want to like get involved in crypto felt like using the Radio Shack branding would help get old executives more into the idea of crypto. You know, using a company that is synonymous with failure is a great way to get
Bankruptcy.
yeah, is a great way to get these businesses on board with crypto.
You guys know Radio Shack. You know us.
Everyone loves Radio Shack, like that company that died
Twice.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radio Shack.
Yeah. I believe the company who owns Radio Shack also owns a couple other companies like Pearl One. It's
I
like
don't know what that is. Is it a phone company?
I don't remember. I could also maybe it was Pier One, not Pearl One. Pier
Pure
One.
One.
It's like a
Pure One Imports.
yeah them, and there's talks of maybe having them have their own token as well.
Mm. Aren't they the ones who are like in the that ring scandal? That
I don't know. I don't. Maybe. Quite possibly.
the Pure
But
One. No, never mind.
I don't know what you're referencing, and I feel like we shouldn't talk about it.
No, not on Twitch.
Okay. All right. Moving right along. More.
All I'm saying is don't buy radio tokens.
I feel like if you tune into us, you already know that our stance is don't buy anything that's
Yeah,
crypto.
don't buy any crypto.
If you really feel that you have to get on crypto, go buy Bitcoin, I guess, because it's the most stable.
Yeah, Bitcoin or I guess Ethereum.
Oh, don't do Ethereum because of what it does to the environment.
I mean, yeah.
Take your
But
hard
that could
stance
be said
against
of-
Ethereum.
Could be said of literally in a cryptocurrency. But
I mean,
guess
Ethereum is
the
literally
most, though.
Ethereum's literally the worst. But speaking of crypto and probably Ethereum,
Yeah.
because almost all NFTs are on Ethereum. We have,
Mm-hmm.
and also speaking of brands that should be dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's valid.
Everybody's favorite new internet store, GameStop. Everyone loves it on the internet now, right? Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's still a big fan of GameStop.
Yeah,
right?
I mean they really are. That's the thing is it is a meme stock at this point. And people love it again, and it's GameStop, and GameStop has sucked for like the last 10 years since the rise of
Really?
digital. Like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
even if you like physical games, which I like physical games, like you can order them on Amazon. Why would I ever go to GameStop?
I want to have the experience of talking to a really disgruntled employee who doesn't want to be there, just getting paid way too little
Yeah.
for their job.
I mean, the only thing I do miss about like GameStop being normal thing to go to is like I did love used games because I'm a poor kid at heart, and not having to pay full price for a game was nice.
Yeah, used games were dope.
Yeah, because they all worked because GameStop wouldn't accept games that didn't, so you just had a game that was cheap. But but GameStop, we're not just talking about GameStop in general. No,
We're not.
like we said, this is NFT news, baby, and in a move that honestly makes more sense than anything else like ever right now. GameStop is creating an NFT marketplace. And you know,
Question then. Is the NFT marketplace centered around games?
probably not. I think they're just
Oh.
using the GameStop name to launch an NFT, like a place online to buy NFTs. Which, to be fair, I feel like people who care about GameStop right now are also people who like NFTs. I feel like it's actually a really good cross section of like meme nerd people. Like, I feel like it's honestly like I think it's stupid, and I'm mad that any more energy is being put by the world into NFTs.
Well, it's what everybody's doing.
But
all the cool kids are doing it, Austin.
You know, you're not wrong. Everyone has an NFT.
Once we get big, we gotta get an NFT.
You can buy the Downtown Kentucky logo as an NFT coming this fall. No, it's
No,
on GameStop. It's coming to GameStop. We will only release it if we can get into the GameStop marketplace.
it's true.
But yeah, there's not really any more news on it right now. It's just something they've announced that they're gonna do, and
Yep.
I
Makes
don't like
sense.
it. I don't like it, but it
That-
makes the most sense. Like, if a lot of these stories, you go, wow, how did we get to this point? This story, I'm like, no, it makes sense. I see how we got here.
Yeah,
Point A to
Yeah.
point B here, it makes complete sense.
it really does track.
Yeah.
Really does.
Now we have a story, or actually last news story. We're kind of rolling through it here, which is kind of, you'll find out in the segment after this that it's kind of the goal. We want to try to get this podcast a little tighter, a little nicer.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
little bit more neat.
Yeah, a little neater. But yeah, this story's actually, from what I understand, I don't know if they just lost their jobs now, or if it happened back in 2017. The incident happened in 2017. We've just got court documents about this story I'm about to release.
Cool.
Say now, so it might be like 4 years old, 5 years old, but the world just found out about it recently. Yeah, so 2 LAPD officers were fired due to, among other things, playing Pokemon Go. Told you, it's all dystopian tech news. The two
Somebody who plays Pokemon Go, or did, I am disappointed.
Yeah, and it gets worse. The two ignored commanding officer's request for assistance in handling an in-progress robbery at Macy's. Like, this wasn't like, oh, hey, just go do your
not
beat.
like a traffic stop.
Yeah, do your beat cop walking around, check and make sure everything's okay. No, this is, I need your help right now. And they said, nah. Instead of helping you, we're going to go and leave this area to go try to find some Snorlaxes and is it Togetics? Is that how it would be pronounced? Is that how
Togekiss.
my bad. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm not that versed on Pokemon. I appreciate the Pokemans. I respect the Pikachus. Trico is the best starter to ever exist. That's my hard stance. You could disagree, and that's fair because it's probably not accurate, but it's my favorite starter ever. But yeah, these 2 cops, they got fired because they said, "Nah, we're not gonna help with this robbery. We gotta go catch a Snorlax."
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so.
No, not rightfully so. Oh, okay.
No, yeah, they got fired, rightfully
Okay,
so.
I thought
For,
you were like,
ignoring probably the most important thing you can do as a cop, which is to, protect and serve.
yeah, like
your
it's the
community.
thing. It's the thing, what they're supposed to do.
Like, the thing,
yeah. But
Just,
Snorlaxes, Chris.
no.
But you see, Snorlaxes were kind of hard to get at one point, so
Maybe in 2017 they were hard to get.
I feel like they
And,
were. Not that I'm defending these cops at all, because they were on a job and should have been doing their job.
Right.
Especially when their job is keeping people safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
agree.
yeah. But instead they went to go get Snorlaxes. But it is the LAPD, so they could have been doing worse things. So at least they weren't hurting people.
Yeah. They could have been, LAPD officers.
There's been a lot of history about LAPD officers doing things that, we don't want to get into that. But if only all of them were catching Snorlaxes instead.
Yeah, I don't want to brag, but I got 100% IV Snorlax at Pokemon Go, so they're kind of losers, anyways.
I see.
Yeah,
that's.
be better.
Yeah, really.
And do your job.
Yeah, be better, do your job. Yeah. You could tell the stories from 2017 though, because there's no way anyone would do this now.
No one's still playing Pokemon Go. Well, they are, but it's like, 40-year-old people who have been playing Pokemon for like the past 20 years.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? Power to you if you want to play Pokemon Go. I don't have a problem with that. Just
as long as you're not on the job as someone who is
protecting
duty
and
is to
serving.
protect
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, maybe just, don't do that. I know, crazy. That's my hard stance. Don't do that,
Wild.
and hey, I don't know, maybe don't put cows in virtual reality goggles. I don't know, maybe.
But they produce more milk, Austin.
You're
What
right.
if we could do that with oats?
And here's the thing, Chris.
Make little oat VR goggles.
Hey, here's the thing. Oat milk might be safe, but here's the thing. What's also destroying the environment? Almond milk. But that's a whole different discussion.
It's true. Almonds are destroying the earth.
They really are. And the amount of almonds needed for almond milk is a lot.
The amount of water you need to make one almond is crazy.
Yeah.
Let alone a whole gallon of almond milk.
Because the amount of milk that an almond produces is not a lot. But that's not the point of today's podcast, is getting into the ethics of almond consumption.
If only it were. What a podcast.
I'll be honest, that might be next week, because where I get my news stories, they're having to take the week off, so I don't know if we'll see what next week is.
Welcome to the Almond Cast.
Yeah. Let me switch over to the next graphic. Because Chris...
Announcements.
Whoa, real quick. One last time, Chris. What is Movie Club?
Well, Movie Club, it's a whole lot like a book club.
But, it was like a book club.
But for movies.
It was like a book club. Hard was.
Why is that, Austin?
Yeah, so...
Why was it?
Well, it was because, as we said, we're trying to tighten this up and shorten the podcast a little bit. Because we have some scheduling changes that are going to be starting next week.
Right.
This is actually our last Monday podcast. I don't get worried. Hey, if you're a podcast listener, which we know you're out there, thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Michelle.
We have some scheduling changes. Me and Chris, both have some plans we have on Mondays now. So the podcast is moving to Thursdays.
Right.
But we just recently launched a series me and Chris were both really excited about. I'm not going to call it Throwback Thursday anymore, though, because it was never released on Thursdays on YouTube, and it was awkward. And also, I'm now probably going to move it to Tuesday because the podcast needs to stay relevant. That's a whole backstage, behind-the-scenes thing. It's just going to be our throwback gameplay series.
Okay.
Yeah, that is going to still exist, but it's also going to be shortened a little bit. Both these videos are going to be... The goal is to hit about an hour for each of them, not an hour and a half for each of them, like most of our videos. Those will both be recorded back-to-back on Thursdays going forward. But yeah, so Movie Club is one of the casualties, as well as a dedicated trailer talk segment. Now, here's the thing. If there's a really good trailer... it'll take the place of one of our news stories. The goal is to do about 4 news stories a week, because that roughly takes about 20 minutes, and that leaves us about 40 minutes for Tournament of Champions, because we're long-winded and we'll get way too into that discussion. That's that's the future for this podcast. It's got a new day. We're changing the day. And we're tightening it up a little bit. No more Movie Club. Now, here's the thing. You're not a fan of it, but you should be. We still will be having Movie Club commentary.
That's true.
Because me and Chris really love doing it. That's really what it comes down to. It's one of my favorite shows to create.
And if you haven't watched any of it, you should.
Yeah, it's like we said before.
If you've got access to a decent amount of streaming services, because that's where we watch most of our movies.
Or for this year, just access to Disney Plus. That's all you need. Because this is the year of DComs.
So simple.
And the year of DComs will continue. We won't be doing a discussion about it. We won't be giving you a 5 to 10 minutes discussion on here's kind of what happened and why we don't like it or do like it every once in a while.
If you want to find out how we feel about it, go watch the movie.
You watch the movie with us. It's a cool feature. You have to obviously sync it up because we don't have the rights to things because... I
don't think it'll be that hard, though. I feel like we make it pretty easy. We give you a good amount of time to find the movie and get everything synced up. And even if you don't, you could press the pause button because it's on YouTube.
No, it's crazy, right?
It's not a live thing.
No.
Crazy.
So Movie Club as a segment is no more. Trailer Talk as a segment, also no more. The rest of the podcast is going to stay the same, might be slightly shorter. That's really it. That's the big change. And it's now on Thursdays. For the live recording. For you YouTube viewers, it is no longer going to be coming out on Tuesday. It will be coming out on Friday. And if you were a fan of our throwback gameplay series that came out on one Friday and only ever one Friday, it will now be coming out on Tuesdays. Well, I know, crazy. None of you care about our schedule, but I have OCD, so I feel the need to tell you the changes in our schedule. Yes, you need to listen on Thursdays. That my mother is in chat, and she is our most dedicated podcast listener. It is time for the Chewy segment of the week. No. He's not here today, but it is his favorite segment. It's also it's my favorite segment now on the podcast.
It's the segment.
Yeah, we have news stories and Tournament of Champions. Champions. Chris, it is time for a segment that I love. We just said what it was, but it's time. I'm really hyping it up for some reason. Tournament of Champions. If you're a new listener, which is cool, thank you for being here. We welcome you.
Always welcome.
Tournament of Champions is a big fight to the death tournament where we bring in the best characters from everything you can think of. I have a list of, I forgot what number it is, but it is 64 times 8. It's 500 something. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's 500.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I have a giant list of that. It's going to be broken down into 8 seasons. This is season 1. This is episode 6. It's time to talk about who is on our West Coast bracket, baby.
Let's do it. Let's hop right in.
Starting on the West Coast, we have from the Halloween franchise, the titular hero, Laurie Strode. Sorry, Michael Myers will appear in some other season. He's in the list, but he did not make the cut for this list because this season we did a random draw. I did a random draw from that 500 plus names, and that's how it's gonna work. Then we have Laurie Strode is going up against the DC / specifically Batman villain Two-Face. We'll see how that fight goes.
Yeah.
Then we have the DC / Teen Titans specifically villain Blackfire.
Yeah, Blackfire.
Yeah. She will be taking on one of the Avengers himself, Marvel's Drax the Destroyer, baby.
Woo.
Now moving on over to our East Coast, so you know what's on that side of the bracket. We have Marvel's Avenger herself, Wasp. Woo, Wasp, yeah!
She's alright.
Everyone's Wasp, yeah. Taking on the Harry Potter character, Hagrid. Woo, Hagrid!
Whoa. The friend of Beast himself.
Yes, that is true. He is the... I forgot his role. It doesn't...
He's the groundskeeper?
That's right. Thank you.
I've watched all of the Harry Potter movies once.
I've watched all of them...
To one of my exes.
I've watched all of them 2 to 3 times, and am currently on the 6th book. I should have remembered what his position was. He's also sometimes the Care of Magical Creatures teacher. Just to throw that out there as well. I know what I'm talking about. And then lastly on the East Coast, right? Yes, we're on the East Coast. We have from the Child's Play / Chucky franchise, Chucky himself. Not Chucky from Rugrats, if you got excited because you saw the name Chucky on the screen. I'm sorry.
That would not be a firefight for Chucky.
Yeah, he is not in this bracket because I don't think he's ever fought anyone.
He is a child.
Yeah, he is a 2-year-old baby who is afraid of everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like he would have had a good chance in this tournament. I'll be honest. But Chucky, the
evil doll.
I was gonna say demonic doll, but it's not demonic. It's like
ghost.
Possessed. Yeah, ghost possessed doll.
possessed by a serial killer.
Yeah, like through some sort of voodoo magic. That's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
The point is they're fighting DC's villain, Bloodsport.
Woo!
Because I pulled all the characters, baby. Because I have 500 of them, and some of them are, Bloodsport.
Yeah, and some of them are Bloodsport.
Well,
Is
no.
he in the new Suicide Squad?
He is in the new set.
That's Idris Elba, right?
That is Idris Elba. He is the same as Peacemaker and Deadshot and like probably 3 or 4 other DC villains because they're really not that clever. Deathstroke's
He's a guy
pretty
with
similar.
a lot of weapons.
Yeah, Deathstroke's pretty similar. He occasionally uses swords, so he makes himself slightly different.
Yeah,
but
just gun guy.
Yeah, we will discuss that in a little bit. We need to go back over to the West Coast for our first matchup of the evening.
Let's do it.
That's right, baby. We got Laurie Strode versus Two-Face. And what I feel like is a really even fight, because they're both just people who use guns, and neither of them that well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure, but I'm leaning towards Laurie Strode.
I don't know why, but I am too.
Purely based on the fact that she has managed to survive Michael Myers, like, multiple occasions.
Depending on which canon you're in, I think a max of 3 times in a row. No, 4 times. I think it's 4 times. If you go off of the original canon of her in 1, 2, H2O, and Resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Either way, an impressive feat.
No.
Based on the fact that he is kind of like an immortal embodiment of evil, but also not. It's weird. No one really knows what Michael Myers is. He's the Shape.
Well, what are you talking about? If you go into movies, like I think it's 6, they give him a really weird backstory that no one asked for. But yeah,
I haven't seen 6. Sorry,
I haven't either, but I've watched a video on it.
Oh, okay.
I watched a video essay on it. But yeah, the point is Michael Myers isn't here. I agree. Laurie Strode moves on. If you're a big Two-Face fan, reconsider your life decisions.
Yeah, I agree. There's much cooler DC villains to like root for.
Like if you
Two-Face is just like a mobster who got deformed.
If you want a guy who just basically shoots a gun, go watch. The Joker is so much better. Like I mean, like.
Oh wait, no. He's a lawyer who got deformed.
Yeah.
Who became a mobster.
Well, he's a lawyer or like a public servant. Like because he's like, what was he? Harvey Dent was like running for mayor, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't matter. He's just a dude. He's just a dude who flips a coin. And guess what? Oh no, he flipped it, and they're both heads. But one of them scratched heads, so it's still heads or tails because the scratch side's normally worse.
Yeah.
So it defeats the whole point of it being that's not the point.
Laurie Strode survives.
Laurie Strode survives
to kill Two-Face.
And now it's time for probably, I feel like, the most interesting fight of the night.
Probably.
Yeah. We have Blackfire versus Drax. This is one where I have pulled up their power lists because I need to
probably do the same.
Try to know what we got going into this. Starting with Blackfire, she has superhuman strength, durability, reflexes, agility, endurance, FTL flight, which is a natural Tamaranian ability she lacked in the comics, but has later, so I guess...
FTL flight, what is that?
A natural Tamaranian ability.
Okay, well, thank you for that.
I assume it's just like flight, Chris.
Okay. Like, I don't know what FTL flight is.
I will Google FTL flight for you.
Why is it FTL flight, not just flight?
Basing solely off of what I know from the Teen Titans cartoon, I assume this has to do with like the flight based off of like having happy thoughts that Starfire describes to Raven in that one episode. I looked up FTL flight DC and got nothing. Let me add Tamaranian instead of DC and see if I can find anything for you. Tamaranian. Okay, it looks like it might not be FTL flight, even though this might have been it might be FLL flight. Maybe. Nope, that's trying to correct me to something else. It's a flight ability she has, okay?
Okay. What?
Then after that, she also has the ability to generate bright lilac-colored bolts of ultraviolet energy from her hands that are quite powerful and destructive, which are called black bolts.
Ooh, black bolts.
Now over to Drax the Destroyer. At first, he is nearly invulnerable and super strong. He can fly.
No, he could fly.
Me neither.
He definitely doesn't fly in the Marvel Avengers
he can
MCU.
Survive in open space. I believe she can as well. It wasn't mentioned, but I believe I remember that being a thing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and he can also he can also utilize telepathic abilities and a connection to a supercomputer of Titan called Isaac. All right.
Of who?
It's a supercomputer of Titan. That's the planet that Thanos is from, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
After one rebirth, Drax boasts an even higher level of strength, but suffers a brain injury, making his personality more childlike.
He become dumb.
Yeah. So they're very similar. I feel like due to the fact that, and it very well, if you're a big DC fan, you can come at me, and that's fair. I'm not an expert. The DC Comics wiki here, or the Wikipedia for her, mentions her only having superhuman durability, while he is described as nearly vulnerable. So I'm going to give him the edge because of that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because other than that, they're pretty similar with the amount of ability they have, it seems.
Yeah, I feel like Thanos is definitely more powerful. Based on the fact that
Thanos? You mean
on
Drax?
different occasions, he has killed Thanos.
Gotcha.
Like, just put his hand straight through his chest and ripped out his heart.
Yeah, fair.
So yeah. And as far as I know, Blackfire has never done anything comparable to that. She tried to steal, defeated by Starfire,
but she tried to steal Robin. So
that's true.
We definitely can't let her go through.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if it was Starfire, I might let her through.
Well, Starfire will be Starfire. In the words of movies like Drax are from, Starfire will return, or appear, I guess, really, but.
Okay.
Then we have the Wasp versus Hagrid.
Wasp go really small.
Yeah. Size manipulation, flight via wasp wings, bioelectric energy blasts.
She does have little zappities.
And she also has telepathic insect control.
She could summon a wasp swarm.
But now,
would Hagrid be able to deal with a wasp swarm?
Here's the thing that I'm going to say. In his character, I feel like he would try his darndest not to, but he does have magic, and therefore he has the availability to just Avada Kedavra her in a fight to the death and kill her.
True, he is a wizard.
Yeah.
Not only is he the groundskeeper and really good with magical creatures,
to be fair,
he is also just a wizard.
To be fair, when it comes to his wizarding, he might not have the knowledge to be able to do the Avada Kedavra well. I don't know how that would exactly work because he did get kicked out of school, so he did not finish his wizarding training. So, but I do feel like by just having that ability, I don't know. But at the same point, I feel like it's a slippery slope where he could pretty much never lose. So do we want to ignore Avada Kedavra? I don't know.
I mean, I don't think he could never lose. There's definitely multiple wizards that have been defeated in Harry Potter.
Yeah, but by other wizards who can Expelliarmus them. Does Wasp know Expelliarmus?
I mean, I'm sure she could zap his hand.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point.
You go,
But the question is, can she zap him before he has a chance of hitting her with the Avada Kedavra?
Probably, because she could shrink out of the
That's
way
fair.
and just dodge it.
All right. I'm on board.
Yeah, I think I might give it to Wasp.
Okay.
As much as I kind of want Hagrid to win, I think I give it to Wasp on this.
All right. I think I do too.
Okay.
I think I do too.
And I feel like Austin wants to bring out the coin on this.
I did. Part of me really wanted to take it to the coin. Especially because I don't really, looking at this, see another point to take it to the coin.
Or we might take it to the coin.
Yeah.
I think I give it to Wasp.
Yeah. I think your argument swung me before I considered the coin. You know, like you swung me with her being able to shrink out of him and being able to see her to hit it. I do think Wasp edges out Hagrid barely, specifically because he doesn't have like that training. Here's the thing: if this was Harry Potter, he would, because Harry Potter, she wouldn't be. He has experience playing Quidditch, specifically as the Seeker. He looks for the snitch.
True.
He could find Wasp, but
in this matchup specifically, Harry Potter for sure wins.
But Harry Potter's not here. It's Hagrid. Hagrid loses. Sorry, Harry Potter fans. If you're a Harry Potter fan, that means you're probably also a Chucky fan. Moving right along.
Does it?
No, not at all.
I was gonna say I don't think those two correlate.
You don't think there's a big crossover between Chucky and Harry Potter?
You know, maybe if Laurie Strode and Chucky were next to each other in this bracket,
they could be. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, maybe she'll beat Drax. Find out soon, guys. So Chucky versus Bloodsport first. Yeah. Gonna go with Bloodsport for sure.
Yeah.
Because the only opponent Chucky has ever faced is defenseless children.
I don't think that's accurate.
And on occasion, 2 cops.
In all of the franchise, like even like Bride of Chucky and stuff, those later movies, he doesn't like kill just adults. I'm not saying he'd be Bloodsport, but I have trouble believing he only ever went after children as the series goes on.
I mean, he kills a lot of kids, but he does also kill a few adults.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not saying he wins, but I feel like he can take.
And then he does lose in like a shootout in a toy store to a cop.
See.
So.
Wait, you're saying a shootout he loses?
Yeah. Versus, you know, the guy who is a walking arsenal.
Let's read. Let's just for funsies. Let's read
Bloodsport's powers.
Considerable strength, stamina, and durability. Access to high-tech weaponry in a warehouse by using a teleportation device. Skilled in firearms, explosives, and hand-to-hand combat. Let's look up.
I feel like even without any of the weapons, like Chucky would attack him, and then he would just like catch him in midair and throw him on the ground.
Chucky doll powers. Voodoo and immortality. Weapons, multiple, but usually a knife.
But usually a knife.
Yeah, no, it's Bloodsport. There's no real way to spin it otherwise.
That tiny doll, with the strength of an adult man, a normal adult man.
Yeah, it's Bloodsport.
Yeah.
All right, moving back over to the West Coast. For the West Coast finals / semifinals of this episode, we have Laurie Strode. Woo! Laurie Strode! Woo! Taking on Drax. But here's the thing. I'm pretty sure if I look up Michael Myers, his power list might also say nearly invulnerable. Yeah. Michael Myers.
You got a point. But he doesn't have access to a supercomputer for psionic powers.
Michael Myers' powers: superhuman strength, stealth, endurance, and durability of an unknown limit. So he could be completely invulnerable, and she killed him. Actually, she didn't.
No.
She doesn't.
At least not yet.
Yeah, she might.
Spoilers.
Yeah. She thought she did in H2O.
Yeah. And then in this new movie, spoilers, a whole bunch of people like shoot and stab him, and then he's laying on the ground, and then he just gets back up and he kills everyone. It's crazy.
The point is, she could survive that, so she could survive Drax. I agree. Laurie Strode, moving on. No. Oh, it's Drax.
No.
Drax is a superhuman. Laurie Strode is a chick.
As a
Just
human,
a random,
as a normal
random
human
person. Like a person who's
with
got experience, like surviving.
really strong survival instincts, and that's
Yeah.
about it.
Realistically, you could argue, kind of just got lucky in that first movie. Um,
True. And
yeah.
then strong survival instincts kicked in
Yeah.
afterward.
Well,
Yeah.
depending on which version of her afterwards we're talking about. In Halloween 2, she just kind of once again kind of just survives.
Mm,
Um,
yeah. That's valid.
All right, moving right along again, because
Let's do
that
it.
went way faster than I mean it had to. There was no other way to. We couldn't stretch that one any longer.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Now we have Wasp versus Bloodsport. Um,
This one is also kind of close, actually, I
I
feel like.
guess I don't know if it is.
Are you leaning towards Bloodsport?
No,
You
not
leaning
even a
towards
little
Wasp?
bit. I think Bloodsport, as good of like a random shot he is, isn't prepared to fight the thing that shrinks and he can't see it, kicks him in the back before he even notices they went around him. Like, I think, and also gets hit with electricity from across the room while he doesn't even see where it's coming from because she shrunk. Like, I think Wasp beats him. That's my opinion. Here's the thing: if you're strong on Bloodsport, we can take this to the coin.
I think that's valid.
Oh,
Shooting
dang it!
something that's incredibly small is
Yeah,
hard to do.
yeah.
Uh,
And I just don't feel like he has like really experience dealing with it because there's not. I mean, I guess there's Bumblebee, but what are the odds
yeah,
that Bloodsport and Bumblebee have fought? I don't know. Maybe.
yeah.
I
I do not
mean,
read comics,
I don't know
unfortunately.
which comics either of them would be in. Like, I don't think either of them have their own line.
Yeah, I
So,
think Bumblebee would be in a Teen Titans
yeah,
comic,
and I don't think
and
Bloodsport is a Teen Titans character. It ever really. I mean, he probably
oh,
has once or twice because everyone's dealt with everyone in a comic universe. But
yeah,
I don't know. I feel my heart says Wasp, and I can't really see a way where Bloodsport. I mean, he's a good shot, and like yeah, you put him against Chucky or Laurie Strode or Two Face. Yeah, he kills him. But
well, let me see what kind of weapons he has,
okay,
because depending on that, it might not matter what kind of shrieking she has. This isn't what I'm looking for. Because I feel like if he has a gun that kind of just covers insane amounts of space,
mm-hmm.
can just like eviscerate her,
Yeah,
and then that's it.
it's true.
Equipment, helmet, classable arsenal. We all know about that. Okay, so show me what kind of weapons he has. A garroting wire. Robert can utilize the filament used for both his mace attachment and his sling shooter for stealth skills is a strangulation utility to choke out enemy combatants. That's not going to help him out. For short range attacks, he has the meteor hammer. Dubois utilizes
He has a
a
bow and
spike
arrow.
mace on a cord. He has a mini flamethrower, which is good for covering large amounts of area without really having to aim.
Okay.
It is going to be limited to melee range, so that is a little bit of a pullback.
Mm-hmm.
Multi-barrel pistols, yeah, it's not going to help at all. Slingshot gauntlets, a hand-drawn underarm mounted dart launcher with incredible accuracies. Preferred target is the arteries and veins of an opponent's neck. She is never
Respect.
known to miss, even at ranges of 12 meters. Sword, a weapon of last resort, also stored in collapsed form.
Ooh, collapse.
Okay, kryptonite bullets, a minigun, and derringers. Fires low caliber. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, the flamethrower would definitely put him in a more like.
I mean, I feel like if he has the
Defensible
ability
position,
to
but I
get,
don't think
but I also
that.
feel like if
Yeah,
he has the, how was it worded? It was worded that he has, wasn't he like?
incredible accuracy.
No, he has the access to high-tech weaponry in a warehouse by using a teleportation device. He could like
Yeah,
teleport and get a shotgun, and that's gonna cover a large area. Like,
I think he does also have little tiny shotguns in
yeah.
his suit.
So what I'm hearing is you should vote for Bloodsport, Chris.
Oh, you're whipping out the coin.
Yeah, and I'm gonna vote for Wasp. Wink,
All
wink.
right.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's much closer of a battle than you thought it.
Yeah, no, I think you were able to get me there. I still think it's Wasp, but
That's fair.
I think I was willing to play a little devil's advocate there to help get you more and more on the side with Bloodsport.
Fair.
All right,
Fair.
Chris, heads or tails?
Heads.
All right, it was heads.
He's got a cool helmet. Oh,
Bloodsport
really?
continues.
Sorry, Austin.
It doesn't matter. Neither of them win this next fight.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
I mean, just kidding, Chris. How does Bloodsport beat Drax? For the first time listeners, once a week I like to give Chris a unwinnable fight. And I've chosen to save it for the finals of this tournament today.
You see, Bloodsport has access to kryptonite bullets, apparently.
Yes.
And
Drax is Kryptonian?
That kills Superman, so...
Because that's his
he's near invulnerable, and Drax is near invulnerable, so that kills Drax.
But Drax isn't a Kryptonian, Chris.
Oh, but he's an alien. That's the same thing, right? Kryptonian, Drax, whatever Drax is.
What is Drax? We got a little bit of time.
Feel like he's not a Titan.
No, he's
at
not.
all. His planet got taken over by the Titans,
yes,
right?
they did. I believe that is accurate. Drax.
What is Drax? What species is Drax?
Created by the Titan god Cronus to kill Thanos, Drax the Destroyer has spent most of existence either trying to do exactly that or dealing with the fact that the others killed his target first. He is literally created to kill Thanos. That is his job. That is who he is. That is all he is. He's created by a god to do that.
Oh, well, there you go.
So basically, he's Hercules, but for DC, and he destroys Bloodsport.
Yeah, that's fair. He's the Kratos.
Yeah.
Of Marvel.
Kratos. There's a lot of characters that kind of rip each other off there.
Yeah, it's almost like a lot of characters build off of pre-existing lore and myths, legends. But that's cool.
I don't know what you're talking about. Jupiter and Zeus are different, and I won't hear otherwise.
No one likes Roman gods. What are you kidding?
No, I kid. I think that's not even something that's even pretended. Like it's like the Romans were like, yeah, no, we took those gods and changed the names.
Yeah,
we like these gods.
Them to planet names.
Okay. Well, no, okay.
Mostly.
Little history lesson, Chris. No, whoa. They gave them the names. They named the planets after the gods. No, they looked at the planet and said, that's Jupiter, because that's the biggest one. That is like the god, Jupiter. Like, that's what I mean. Like, they said that planet is the god, not they went, let's name this after the thing we already have in the sky. That's not how that happened.
I think they should have.
That's not how it happened.
It's silly to name a giant ball of gas after... Or name your god. No, yeah.
What?
Name a giant ball of gas after a god.
Well, because they thought it was the god, because they didn't know what space was, Chris.
Guess they should have known what a giant ball of gas looked like.
What are you doing?
Especially for that telescopes in ancient...
What is the stance you're taking?
I don't know. They really should have been smarter. They should have tried science back in ancient Rome.
Well,
They believed the Earth was flat, too.
They did, and I still think there's questions to be asked. Thank you for tuning in. This is our first of our shorter podcasts. We only hit 53 minutes, baby. This is short, sweet, and to the point.
And it's gonna be the way it is from here on out.
Well, if we consistently hit like 45 minutes, I might add one extra news story a week. We'll see. But yeah, this has been it. We will be back tomorrow with a new co-op game when you've never played before. That's right. In honor of round one loser, right?
Blackfire.
Yeah, round one loser Blackfire. We're playing the hit classic no one has ever heard. I've never heard anyone talk about it. I didn't even know it existed until like a month ago. The Teen Titans beat 'em up from 2006. I believe it was on GameCube and PlayStation 2, I believe.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, we will be playing that next week, baby.
Nope, we'll be playing it tomorrow.
That's right, and probably next week.
And most likely next week as well.
And that's probably it, because it's only like it's not that long of a game.
Yeah. And if you're looking to tune into the podcast again, it won't be next week Monday. Remember.
That's right.
It'll be next week Thursday.
That's right, and we will be playing co-op game day or whatever we call it. I don't know yet. Probably not co-op game. Not at all. My
Throwback.
brain. Yeah, throwback gameplay. That's probably what it's going to be called. The series is going to be called Throwback Gameplay. It's nothing crazy original, but that's just what it's going to be called, guys. Because that's what it is. Yeah, we will be playing Crash Bandicoot. We will be doing that this Thursday as well. As well as Friday, we will be playing Minecraft.
Yeah, sure
all
will.
of those videos for this week will be coming out the day after on YouTube. The YouTube schedule is going to get a little weird starting after that because of just the way we're recording things. I'm probably going to stop talking about it just because it's complicated. If you're a YouTube only person, check the days they've been coming out because it'll probably stay relatively consistent for that going forward. But just yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, one last thing. YouTube exclusive that launched today for our Twitch people, but yesterday for you YouTube listeners of this podcast, go check out Horror Boys. It's a brand new horror movie podcast. Me,
Right,
Chris, and our friend Isaiah.
Mutual friend.
Yeah, mutual friend. Isaiah have launched, and I think it's really good. Peek behind the curtain. This episode was a hassle to make. This episode specifically, there were some technical issues, and it was a hassle. So please go listen to this, because man, would it make those hours of saving it worth it. Thank you.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye bye.